Gurbaksh Chahal is an internet business entrepreneur, self-made multimillionaire, and brass cover story. By the age of 25, Chahal had created, built, and sold 2 companies for more than $340 million. He is currently laying the foundations for a 3rd company, but he didn't just have it handed to him.
Came to the U.S. when I was about 3 and a half. My parents came from India. Grew up in a town called Tarn, which is in Punjab, and we're Sikh by religion. So my father wore a turban. I even grew up, as well as my brother, with a turban. So being the odd one in America, kind of a little tough.
At age 15, Gurbaksh was already making headway toward becoming a serial entrepreneur.
I remember going to the flea market and finding out that there was refurbished computers and printers there. And I struck a deal, being a 15-year-old, from a guy saying, "Hey, I'll buy your printers for 50 bucks." And I remember going to eBay, and I was able to sell them for $200. Made a few $1,000, helped out in the family and so forth. But got the initial funding as well as the desire to say, "Wow, what else can I do?"
Gurbaksh surveyed the emerging digital landscape and decided internet advertising would be the best entry point.
And I kind of realized that at 16, what can I do? First of all, I hate math, so I'm not a programmer, and I can't program, and I don't want to program. And so obviously that's a skill set that I don't have. And obviously I don't know anything about business. I'm a 16-year-old, right? So all I know is that I have this desire. If you can just write down all the different things that you don't have, you can get them. And you can either get them by surrounding yourself around the right people, or just taking the necessary risks and getting those risks to become a reality. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes, but eventually you're going to overcome them. Even from a personality perspective, I was an introvert. And I needed to come out of that shell. And I tried that. I tried many different ways to realize that. I remember my first sales pitch, my first phone call that I even made. It was not good. But I knew that the fact that I wanted to be successful in that, I could get the best pitch out eventually. And that eventually happened. I remember 2 weeks into it, I got my first contract, and it was for $30,000. And after that, it was a learning effect, and everything just basically transpired and grew. The flip side of that is that the lack of education, the lack of experience I had, forced me to make a lot of mistakes. The difference is that a lot of people realize when you make these mistakes, you just fall down and you give up. I kind of looked at that as saying, I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to get up from them, and I'm going to move on and just build a great company out of it.
Chahal is not done yet. He recently appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show and is currently developing his next startup, as well as other projects including a television show and book. Chahal is living proof that no matter how humble one's beginnings, there is no limit to what an individual can achieve.
Put yourself out there, don't be afraid, and as long as you're going out there with the best intentions, most of the time you're probably going to get a positive response. The core value that we got to get across when we're young is take risks, but take measured risks. Don't take risks that are going to get you into trouble, but take risks that you think will have a positive outcome and that you've done some research behind at least, but go out and pursue them. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, it's just going to prohibit you as time goes on.